In the summer of 2022, the North Carolina and South Carolina bishop staffs began to discuss the need to assist our congregations in preparing responses to disasters. We felt the most effective way to address this need was to partner across Synod lines. We worked through an extensive interview process, and a call was extended to Pastor Ruth Ann and Pastor Ray Sipe as our Lutheran disaster response coordinators for the Carolinas. Pastor Ruth Ann graduated from the Lutheran Theological Southern Seminary in 2008. She also received a spiritual direction certification from LTSS in 2022. Prior to being called to this position in the North Carolina, South Carolina Synods as disaster coordinator, she served the North Carolina Synod congregations of Becks, Lexington, Mount Zion, Richfield, and St. Stephen's, Gold Hill. Pastor Ray graduated from Lutheran Theological Southern Seminary in 2008. Prior to being called to this position as Lutheran Disaster Response Coordinator, he served the North Carolina Synod congregations of Becks, Lexington, Prince of Peace, Salisbury, Mount Gilead, Mount Pleasant, and St. Martin, Concord. He also served as chaplain for Trinity Place in Albemarle. Please help me welcome Pastor Ruth Ann and Pastor Ray Sipe as our new Lutheran Disaster Response Coordinators.
Thank you for that warm welcome. It's been a joy to get to talk to some of you already. We are glad to greet you as the new coordinators for Lutheran Disaster Response in the Carolinas. We are sharing this call, and as the bishop mentioned before lunch, I believe, we are serving both North and South Carolina. This ministry does exist because of a generous grant, and I think that's a great example of how our mission support from congregations moves up to church-wide and then comes back to benefit us in the synods. Our purpose is to provide training and support both in disaster preparedness and response. As you may know, the mission of LDR is to share God's hope, healing, and renewal with people whose lives have been disrupted by disasters here in the United States and around the world. We share this mission here in the Carolinas. Our work is really centered around two priorities. The first is to help congregations prepare for disaster. That includes developing a plan so that you are prepared to respond to a variety of situations. It means developing local congregational resources and coordinating with other local organizations. And our second priority is to develop a network of resources across the Carolinas. We hope that network will include congregations who have disaster plans, emergency shelters, and other resources to help themselves and their community. We also want to include individuals who have skills and experience and a desire to help. That means being ready to work with other voluntary organizations who are active in disaster response. You may see that some places abbreviated simply as VOAD, V-O-A-D. And we are planning to begin regular Zoom meetings with anyone who's interested in learning more about this ministry and how they can participate.
We have compiled a list of resources which we hope will help you develop a plan for yourselves or your congregation. LDRcarolinas.org has a resources tab, and you can find many things on that page that will give you a hand in seeing what resources are available. Our contact information is also available on the website, or you can pick up a card from our booth out here. We can arrange in-person or Zoom meetings with your congregation or your council as you begin to create or review your own plan. We also invite you to like our Facebook page. We'll be putting things on there on a regular basis. You've already heard about the charging stations. Those are available so that we can come to a disaster site where there's no power and sit in your congregation's lobby or narthex or wherever and set up charging stations for people to come in and charge their phones or their laptops. You also have a preparedness survey in your packet. If you don't have a paper copy, you can pick one up from us. Fill that out, and you'll be in a drawing to win a weather radio or some other small prize for yourself or your congregation. These weather alert radios are battery backed up, so they're a wonderful tool to add into your preparedness plan. Thank you, and come by and see us.